Hello everyone! Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Today we will finally get back to doing some more MSQ. I think it's been something like 2 months since the last MSQ stream, which is too long. But we did make some good detours doing that. We went and did the the first 2 parts of the Shadowbringers raid series, and the first 2 parts of the Alliance raid series. And then we also took a break and did Dragonflight campaign, which was fun. I'm still playing WoW almost every day. But now we're going to get back to MSQ and make our way towards Endwalker. Next quest, we start over here at Kryl, but before we do that, let's go ahead and talk to some of the Scions around here. Let's see what they have to say, starting with Grahatia. I suppose we ought to take stock of the situation. By forestalling the 8th Umbral Calamity, we have unwritten history. The future now lies beyond my ken. None can say what awaits, but so long as we stand together, I doubt not but that we can overcome all trials. We have always done so, have we not? Do you mean since I awakened in this body? The hunger being par for the course, I have no complaints. All appears to be well. Though my memories straddle the lives I have lived, there is no contradicting fragments which cause me confusion. Yet, by the same token, 'tis a strange feeling to be possessed of my young body again. Even accounting for the crystallization, I do not recall ever being so light and spry. As for my soul, Ystrel assures me it is similar to yours, Beryllian. That is to say, it is somewhat denser than others, but otherwise normal. On the face of it, it appears to make sense, but I couldn't help but consider the difference between your circumstance and mine. You, of course, merged with Ardbert, and as similar as your souls may have been, the fact is you were different people. Thus did your soul gain in density. How you were able to merge is another matter. Given what we know of the soul, that you possessed distinct memories should have rendered the process more complicated, though I but theorize. Perhaps your strong and shared desire to do so made it possible, or were each... what am I trying to say? Yeah, never mind. In contrast, I simply merged with myself. Whatever additional experiences the older me may have had, my fundamental existence remained unchanged. Mind you, that's not to say that I hadn't improved. Far from it. At any rate, when our souls combined, it shouldn't have been a process of augmentation, but rather, shall we say, attunement. It seems somewhat strange that my soul has become denser. Or could this be the result of having undergone another rejoining? If so, it would serve as proof of a future that many fought and died to prevent. Lest we forget, my friend. Lest we forget. Show him the wind-up Meisel of himself. See how that goes. Little Grandpa Tia. Well now, I have my suspicions. What? Oh, okay, look. I kept missing the N. Well now, I have my suspicions as to what this is about, but wouldn't you be so good as to confirm them for me? Aye, just as I thought. They went ahead with it after all. The artisans of the mean had come to me with a proposal, you see. In celebration of the knight's return, they asked how I wished to be commemorated, on a coin or as an automaton. Neither, I replied, for all the good it did. They knew I would be embarrassed. It makes no difference what name they give it, yet still they did it. Of course they did. Everybody loves Grandpa Tia. A right stubborn lot they are. As befits the people of the Crystarium, they shall be just fine without me, and Delina may rest assured I do not worry for them. Nevertheless, I shall never cease to pray for their happiness. No longer am I a leader of a nation. Whatever power and influence I may have wielded, I left behind as surely as I left my body. But everything I have ever felt and experienced, all of these things and more I have brought with me, you have brought for me. And I shall carry them close to my heart always, unto the end of my days. How nice. Let's talk to the twins too. And then, Urianger, Thancred, and Y'shtola are through here. We'll talk to them as well. Thanks to your reports, I had known that all was well in the source, but there is no relief like seeing our comrades again with my own eyes. If possible, I should like to thank Estinian in person, of course you would, for the help he lent us while we were away, but it seems he has not been heard from of late. Such is his way. Well, until such time as we meet again, I shall ever pray for his well-being, and take the absence of tidings as a good sign, as I do with our friends in the first. While things are quiet, I think I'll move my body around some sort. Need to get it used to the new tricks I learned in the first. To that end, I'll round up Hori and his crew for a spot of sparring, oh no. Oh, and Graha too. In my capacity as his senior, I'm obligated to train him as well. Those poor people. I'll say, don't push Grandpa too hard. He's still getting used to his body. Hello, Dadgrid. Though only a short time has passed in the source, for me it has been several long years. That's right, he was there technically for like 7 years? Because he was the first one that went there. 'Tis passing strange to see how little has changed here in the Rising Stones. Sometimes I can't help but feel as if I'm dreaming. Then I see the equipment Taro prepared for us, and it helps to bring me back to reality. Reen continues her fight in the first, and I must resume my own here. By thine accounts, the 14th seat of the convocation was known as Azim. At the title's distinctly familiar ring, mine imagination could not fail but run wild. From Azema, the warden in Eorzea, to Azim, the Dawnfather in the far east, in nigh every corner of Hydaelyn, do these deities revered as personifications of the sun share the same like names. Could they all perhaps trace their origins to the 14th seat, I did muse. Though it may ne'er be proven or otherwise, such a theory, I do believe, lieth firmly within the realm of possibility. Nerd. As you know, in the Seeker of the Sun culture, the title Tia indicates a male who does not preside over territory. In regards to this, Alphinote came to me with a consultation. The Crystarium may not be a territory in the traditional sense, he said, but our friend governed it with great leadership nonetheless. As such, would it not be inappropriate to call him Tia? As it is by no means disrespectful to omit the title, I told Alphinote that he is free to do so if he wishes, but I for one intend to call him by his full name, at least until he has decided what he wants for himself in his new life. Interesting. Because the Seeker of the Suns, I believe, are a patriarchal society, and the Seeker of the Moon are a matriarchal society. So, like, Menphilia's mother is the Moon, and I think Y'shtola too, which is why they have the white hair. But Graha Tia is Sun, and has Tia, and is, like, red, darker color hair. Anyway, let's talk to Tataru first, then we'll talk to Kryl and actually get started. Everyone likes the garments I prepared for them. The time I spent polishing my skills wasn't in vain. In case you're wondering, Graha Tia is an outfit suited for traveling, while his weapon uses a piece of the Crystal Tower as the focus. Brilliant, right? I think we did this one last time. Now, I know you probably shouldn't go around yeah, we did this one. Okay, let's finally actually get started and talk to Kryl. Alizé's quest. Kryle's eyes light up at the sight of you. Well, doesn't everyone's eyes? Oh, greetings, Brilliant. Come to look in on our friends? Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them, and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. As a matter of fact, we're just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we? Quest accepted. Finally back.
Well, my friends.
Oh, come on.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I have a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
Ingrid would do that again.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Yeah, Dad crude.
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Like some new drip?
Welcome back, everyone!
Lise!
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
Feels a lot more stiff than usual. Maybe I just haven't watched one in a while.
Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met.
That's true, she didn't actually meet him.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise
But she's
are
not an
rather
Archon.
different.
Grahatir, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Her tattoo was Ida's,
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
right?
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the First. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh.
Oh, right.
He is
I
best
did
boy.
glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it.
Isn't that just like you?
Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
I mean, you never really know.
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
Andrew, don't say that.
I'll take that as a yes.
Don't say that.
Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
I mean, to me it was kind of obvious.
A difficult truth to bear, yes. But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared.
I mean, if he did regain his power, that'd be pretty fun.
Though his
Fight,
is a power
right?
born of
Right?
the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak. And it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? All right, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire. So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne.
Have we heard that name?
He wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald, and we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Ah, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the tempered.
Of course she does. I mean, we did get some pretty good clues.
You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you used to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
What meeting? Lead on. You know, I'd been saying that Alizé and Gratia were
I
number
knew
1
you'd
and
say
number
yes.
2 Warrior of Light simps, but I had completely
I'll come
forgotten.
too, if you don't mind, that is.
I had completely forgotten about Xenos. Xenos is number 1, obviously. Hey, this is supposed to be my moment with the Warrior of Light.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
Hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
Sure. Thing is, Alizé's, like, kind of the same.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
Alright, let's go with Alizé and Gratia then. Of course, we gotta talk to everyone else first. When Y'shtola is about, one cannot afford even the slightest slip. You're just learning this? Don't worry, I can say with complete confidence that Graha is dressed for anything. Thanks, Dataru. While I set out to save Halric, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind. I mean, yeah, we knew this. And having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I am convinced that the same must be true of the tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the aether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant. And though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alize, and it warrants full investigation. If there's even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness, not when a child's life is at stake. As I'm sure Beklug would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. This doesn't sound like you, Alize, but I guess you have learned a lot from being in the first. And so, before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. That's just one problem. There's just one problem. Research into the condition has long since been ground to a halt, and the combined effort of work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. Not the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Alligans took a more than promising interest in the subject, a more than passing. And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it is surely to be the Aetherochemical Research Facility. Okay, where was that again? Where they experimented on primals and their worshippers, yes? Oh, that's the Az's Law? Good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on Az's Law. Yeah, that's right. Which means we'll be needing an airship. Oh, don't worry, Tataru's got that covered. An airship, you say? Meet me in the northern bank of Silver Tear Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. Or did she buy an airship? I mean, that sounds like Tataru, but do we really have the funds for that? Or is she blackmailing Sid? Oh, let's go check out what Tataru's got for us. Blackmail's fair game for her. You know, where do we need to go? So she said the bank somewhere, but I don't know where. Okay, it's in Mordona. Oh, okay, yeah. On the southern bank there. Thought she said, I could have sworn she said northern bank, but obviously that doesn't make sense. I mean, isn't this where Sid's airship is parked? Oh, she's got her... Wait. She did buy an airship? Notaro, we can't afford this! So she's dressed up. I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. Tataru, I know you're good with money, but I don't think we can afford this. I built her as a custom... Of course she built it herself. With her friend's help, of course. I built her as a company project with the help from other friends at the Rising Stones, and named her for luck and prosperity. Tataru, this is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about anywhere we want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship, I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled Quinkeeper. I'm just thinking of people that walk into the Waking Sands for the first time and run into Tataru. They don't know what they're getting into. I'd also introduced myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite so as well as I'd hoped. But that's alright, because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. The Bonanza is equipped with full complement of mana cutters, by the way. Feel free to use them to get around as is law. But enough talk, it's time to fly. All aboard! So is this just an airship we can take from this location now? And get around as is law faster? Because that would be nice. Because Az's Law is kind of a really big zone. Did I ever mention that I wasn't fond of flying? Because I am. Be it on the airship, an Amaru, or a Chocobo, there is nothing so exhilarating as feeling the wind on your face as the horizon unfolds before you. Honestly, Sid would be kind of jealous the way that airship flies. Tentaru has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Az's Law, and Alphanote's report did not do the scale of this place justice. I agree. So this is where you had your reckoning with Thoradin. I wish I'd been with you. Yeah, she was stalking Lidibus and Artbird. The wisdom of Alog. Grahatia surveys his surroundings with an expecting glint in his eye. This appears to be Helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and... what a nerd. Yes, I believe I have my bearings. Though this is my first time on Az's Law, I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I am mistaken, this path leads to an aetheryte, beyond which there will be an information terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. I mean, I could have told you that. I don't know if I said, but I did start my Dragoon Heaven's Ward relic weapon. But I've been putting that off like crazy because you need a ton of tomestones to buy a ton of the stuff, and I just haven't been doing my daily dungeons. Let's talk to these two now and see what if Grahatia has discovered anything yet. Time for our authority of an elegant artifacts to show what he can do. Yeah, that's true. And here is the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tampering. Not tampering. That's a different thing. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption in overview? That sounds promising. Indeed. Let us see what this report has to say. Confound it. The contents appear to have been deleted. What? No! Isn't there something you can do? I'll say it's not how it works. Not from here, I'm afraid. But it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is, where to look? It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. It is likely that he kept a copy? I would say it is a distinct possibility. Assuming he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters in the Habisphere. Habisphere, yeah, I guess that's right. On the Habisphere, when we can ascertain the details at Habisphere controls. Let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot. You already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship. We'll see you at the Habisphere. Oh, okay, I guess it's not a fast travel. But I mean, I have flight, so it's not really much of a problem. It still takes a while to get across this place, though. But let's head on over to the Habisphere. It's gonna take a second. wonder if this is the biggest zone in the game. What is the biggest zone in the game? I would imagine this is a contender for biggest zone. And it's not because I'm flying slow or anything, it's just big. Let me look up how much there is to this, to 5.4. Well, I guess I'll continue that in a minute. We gotta talk to Grahatia. Welcome to the Hemisphere Control. How may I assist you? The monocutters appear to be ironworks made, but I dare say Tataru will craft her own soon enough. Yeah, that sounds like her. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. There. From what I recall of the layout, it should be somewhere in the vicinity of... Warning. Evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the hemisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the Fourth Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Zzz. Energy level critical. Returning to base for recharging. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example? Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through the yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart, releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. You seem to recall? Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning-aspected ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as the caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there is no such thing as too much elegant technology. Besides, my studies helped me feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, just more exhilarating than I can well express, and that's why he wanted to come with us. Now then, the lightning shard, if I may, I suggest we split up and search the beta quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They are wont to manifest where the aether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with a shard wins. What do you say? Very well. It would be my honor to come in third. I mean, I can't see him winning. Alright, let's go look for some stagnant ether at the very conveniently placed quest marker. Wonder where it could be. To be honest, I don't mind having a quest marker like this that just tells you where to go. It's like in WoW Classic and old WoW expansions, and even like there's the Greatest Story Never Told side quest chain in this game, where you have to actually like piece together the puzzle and figure out where you're supposed to go, which is fine if you want to do the quest like that, but this kind of content is made so that you can just go and enjoy the story. So having to like search through and do a very hard puzzle that they don't hold your hand for doesn't really make sense. That being said, let's fight whatever sprite is at the stagnant ether. Oh, hello guys. Oh right, I gotta do it like this. Nope, that's all. Let's get the stagnant lightning and head back and claim third prize. Or, I guess we're not going back? Let's see what's happening. Bravo! That was quite a show adventure. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. Sir? I appear to have forfeited on our little race. Congratulations, the lightning shard is yours. Who are you? Show yourself at once. What, no dramatic entrance? You've changed. Very funny. Now let's get back to work. Yeah, no dramatic entrance. You remember that? In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-good God's hero, after all. Well, the contest continues, so you had better hurry back. Ah, but one last thing. Thank you, Brilliant, for bringing me here. Oh, let's head on back. While I was editing 5.3 MSQ, actually before I showed my mom my character and like cat girls and stuff, and she's like, I don't get it. And then while I was editing 5.3, I showed her Graha Tia, and she's just like, okay, I get it. See? Cute cat voice. I just need to keep on sending her pictures of Graha Tia. You have a shard, then you win. I searched high and low, but couldn't find so much as a trace of stagnant ether. It appears Alizé had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, may I have the shard? No, I'm keeping it. What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? Well, maybe it's the convenient mini-map and quest marker. What do you have that I don't? Cheats? That is a question I too have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we could both learn a great deal from Brilliant. And not only about the secrets of adventuring, but come, we should attend to our mission. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Habisphere. Only one obstacle remains. The security systems within, should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. Oh, don't worry, I got that covered. It won't make it difficult for me, maybe for you guys. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I'm right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Oh, that would be convenient. By all means, please go get yourself killed. I mean, please don't, but... Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes, but if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. Not like Alizé would. Get out of there if there was trouble. Well, nothing for it but to sit nothing for it but to sit tight. Now she's probably thinking in her head, yes, finally some alone time with the Warrior of Light. Now that Grod tea is gone. Now we can continue that conversation that totally wasn't a date. From post Heaven's Ward. Like I said. I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption in overview sounds like a studium thesis. I can understand that. We all had to write one. Yeah, but you and Alphinaud aren't Archons. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of Ether. Of course it was. Why would it be anything like combat or something exciting? I'm nothing if not practical. Alphinaud's was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it. I was kind of wondering what Alphinaud's would be, but that makes perfect sense. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. Of course he did. A controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Charlian technology should rightly be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the Forum, our father was not happy. By the way, I know who their father is. Or rather, his position in Charlian government. At the time, of course, Alphinaud was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to death with anyone who saw things differently. I bet he would. By which I mean, the rows were long. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded, but deep down he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for that. Weren't you the one that said you didn't want to get involved in ARR? Or something like that? And you thought his goal pointless? I don't think I'm remembering that right. I should have liked to meet that young Alphinaud. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the elegant civilization as depicted in folklore. Of course it did. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. He's got an Archon tattoo. Of course he did. I didn't. Oh, okay. Oh, he didn't actually attend the studium. He just did a thesis to get to become an Archon. Okay, that's, I guess, yeah, okay. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the students of Baldosian, oh, right. Baldosian convinced me to write one with promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis! I shudder to imagine the work involved, but enough of that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. If a copy of his report still survives, it should be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Blip. Initializing. Scanning for registered user. User not found. To proceed as guest, please complete biometric authentication. Blip. Verifying. Bloop. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humble service, your highness. It never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doga and Une said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Blip. Searching. Bloop. One item found. Iconic corruption in overview. The report is locked by the author. Please state password. Password? Well, go on then, Your Highness. Tell the nice node the password. Right, let's see. Glory to Alog. Uh-oh. Long live Emperor Zande? Bloop, bloop. Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now, passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance... Oh no, what's this gonna be? Password! Please tell me this works. The notion that the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handy maiden. Oh no. This is not going to end well. What? Did that thing just call me? I don't know. What would it be? Let's just do courage. Bip bloop. Password incorrect. Again, be warned, any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. I was wondering when she'd get to that. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we risk losing the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Oh, that's true. Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. Wondering when Alize would draw her sword. Okay, that was the wisdom of Valog. Fine. I'll let Sid try his hand first, but if that doesn't work, we're doing it my way. Well, I mean, I don't doubt that. Lip threat detected. I mean, yeah. Alize's here. Reviving the legacy. Rohatia seems eager to bear the node away. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. He met him when we were doing the Crystal Tower raid series. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assume my proposal to seek his help is no pretext. However, much I might look forward to seeing him again, him and everyone. But come, let us be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, it would help. It wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? Oh, let's head back to the Rising Stones. Right? That's where we're going? Let's see. Gotta zoom out. Right, that's... You don't press right click to zoom out. Yep, Mordona. Let's just teleport straight there. Alright. Talk to everyone around and then Grahatia. I take it you have news to share? So do I. I'm pleased to see your mission was a success, and in no small part due to the bonanza. Kryle's back too. I wonder what was decided at the council. The large, low-born presence detected. Wonderful news, Brilliant. Totaro contacted Cid on our behalf, and he is on his way here, even as we speak. While we wait, I should like very much to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kryle? I can't imagine it's good. As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to the recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on, and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern of us is the third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. Brutus, aren't they the ones who took in Yatsuyu and Asahi? This bodes well. Zenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to intervene in the conflict, and so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal of Gimmelt, I think that's how you say that, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they have hoped to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of the decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. Lominsons, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alphinaud and Shtola have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the Tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in the Dawn's respite? I'll show Cid in as soon as he arrives. We've made the respite cozier than ever. You're going to love it. I understand you took a little trip to Az's Law. Raha made himself useful, I trust. I mean, yeah, he did everything. Well, except for me getting that crystal. Let's see. Anyone else in here to talk to? As important as Gabu is to me, I know only too well how much more is at stake here. A cure could change the whole world. Sid, at long last. Blip, boop. Warning, His Highness is exhibiting elevated blood pressure. Well, it must be his old age. And also Biggs, too. Sid! Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we have had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been, had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with the idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traveling time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something. What is it? The music. The violin part. Shadowbringers. And we can start riding home. Okay. Well, well, a treatment for tempering, and for the next step you need to find the password to this Allegan's report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turn to you. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a magic terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. It contains an Allegan dictionary. Oh, that'll be very useful. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. So we'll just start doing some, dictionary attacks on it, and then we'll just get in. I remember I saw a funny post on r/programmer humor of a person who put up a $500 bounty to crack 2 SHA-512 keys. Like, dude, you're not gonna get that done. If you could break a SHA-512 key without any other information, then you're going to get hired by government agencies. Looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Through technology? Ha! Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, my lady. Tips Fedora. Nope. Open node. Open the report entitled Iconic Corruption and Overview. Password Freedom. Password accepted. Bloop. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the aether of the soul. We know. Said aether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to aether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. Yeah, I know that guy. By way of an example, exposure to the aether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. Now that makes sense. So we have to rebalance their soul, essentially? As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with the earth-aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. Oh, okay, that's interesting. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributed to the elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. This stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. Having discerned the mechanism of icon corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop the material capable of shielding one from its effect, an endeavor in which we are successful, albeit at great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this facility. Of course he was. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and to find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So, not even the Allagans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet were we simply to reanimate a temperate soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them remaining its thrall. If we could only make them remember who they were, so there's no point in reviving their souls unless we can also restore their sense of self. But of course, Memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation, that is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith, which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. I was gonna say bloodwetting, no, but that's a warrior skill. They did. You are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I concede that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics, which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of transference techniques. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. So they've got machine learning. Okay. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it'll take more calculating power, a lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked the report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait. A password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from the person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom through technology. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology, or some such. I guessed that one. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief! Things are about to get very busy. Lucky we had you to help, eh? Suffice to say, I shall be of whatever help I can. All these Magitech terminals won't come cheap. Shut up, Tataru. Some things you shouldn't put a price on. We're getting there, Brilliant. One step at a time. As with our first foray into the labyrinth of the ancients, we seek to venture into the unknown, and in order to succeed, we require not only knowledge and preparation, but daring besides, just like old times, which was over a year ago for me. ... Right. While Grahatia and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Beryllian and Alizé with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Skysteel Manufactory in Ishgard and the Cerulean Processing Plant in Thanalin. The people there will give you what you need. Yours is well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalin. Alright. Let's head up to the Skysteel Manufactory. And I think it's time for a break, but first let me go ahead and get over there. Having a lot of fun with this. Glad we're back on MSQ. To be honest, like, I enjoy just being able to read out the dialogue and enjoy the story. Versus having to, like, in WoW, I play the game, but then there's no real, like, I have to, like, actually come up with my own commentary. But with this, all I have to do is just read out the dialogue. It's kind of really easy. Anyway, let's sit down over here. Can I sit down here? Yes, I can. Let's frame it, yeah, like this. Alright, time to get up, stretch your legs. Time for a break. Get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to, and I'll be right back. All right. Let's get back to it. Let's talk to Fromult and get the stuff that Sid gave us the note for. You stand in the Skysteel Manufactory. What is it you require? Want your stuff, man? Sid says give it. So you are here after Ceruleum? In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Okay. So you're telling me I have to go completely across the city to get what I need? Bruh. Really like this weapon. I'm glad I took the time to do my ARR relic for this. Ceruleum, you've come to the right man. Fair warning though, the price has been shot up to account for the uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. Well, I've got this note from Sid. Let's just give it to me. Well now, a promissory note from the ironworks? Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem. It's as good as gold to me. Haven't seen Emmerich in a while.
After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places.
I guess he's just getting back.
As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course. Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find.
Of course he is.
I am
He's
informed he
Estinian.
recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it.
Well, that's useful. Always nice to have friends in high places.
In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Well, that was easy. Yeah, I didn't think it would be hard or anything since we had Sid's note. Elsie, shouldn't you be excited? Or is she taking a nap?
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much?
Oh, okay, that's right.
Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Yeah, Aliza, you really need to know when to ask for help.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it.
Of course, the Taru's gonna get more than what they need. Probably gonna sell it off later.
Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
Sid's boyfriend.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering.
Sure.
But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
Sure, Nero. Sure.
For all the effort it took to track you down after your latest disappearing act, you could find the cure for death, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me.
Of
9
course.
parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
He's 2.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin. All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
I mean, it's machine learning, so it's gonna take a long time. And then you find out you gave it bad data, so you have to start over later. That's the hardest part about all that, is getting good data.
Damn it. It's overloading.
Of course it is.
She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
I bet they didn't save their work.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
Oh.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There!
And of course it all blows up.
I was able to memorize the magic before it faded.
Of course he
It
did.
still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
Of course he did.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Of course it is. It always is. Now where are we headed? Grahatia's gotta put it down to paper, and then we gotta, like, apply it and test it and stuff. See, where were we? That was reviving the legacy. Okay. We're gonna do the next one for sure. So, we finally have it. The cure for tempering. All that remains is to put it to use. I shall be praying for your success on the front lines. In the end, we didn't have to pay for the terminals, which is great for us, but I can't help but feel for my counterpart on the ironworks. Alas, the ironworks crew couldn't linger longer. Far too much to do. Yet brief, though our time together was, it was bloody good to see them. Forget us not. Alize has only one thing on her mind. At long last, we have our cure. In theory, at any rate, we cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. It'll be fine, I'm sure of it, as long as we exercise due caution. Let's be optimistic this time. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine, except that isn't what I said, but okay. Without further ado, then, let us make for Limsa. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. I don't think he's tempered. I think he's tempered more from Limsa and the people there rather than Titan. I doubt I could contribute much towards what comes next, so I shall cheer you on from afar. Best of luck with the treatment. We'll be praying for your success. Alright, let's head on over to Limsa. Alright, let's get out of here before we see any sus conversations. Alright, Alize. Let's talk to Grahatia first. 'Tis plain, Alize is very fond of Gabu. To the extent that I have a hand in it, I shall do all in my power to bring him back. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our host bring Gabu to us at once. Well, let's see how this plays out. We gonna find an actual cure for tempering, or are we gonna just cause more problems?
Apologies for the wait.
Gabu, have you been good?
Dot.
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Oh, hello.
Fancy meeting you here.
That's right, they were supposed to be in Limsa.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
Yeah, in Limsa.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment? Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
Because you're a book nerd, not a computer nerd.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
Time to summon the little piggy again.
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Oh no, where's he gonna find people to do that?
Be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission then, let us begin.
Right in the middle of the city? Are you sure we should do this right here? And that Maelstrom guard's just standing there like, what the heck are these people doing?
Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn.
What the heck they doing over there?
Tis done.
No small amount indeed.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allagans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one. I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Well. Alize will succeed. I'm certain of it. We need to have faith. Well, this seems to be as good a spot as any to have a rest.
For years, Eorzea has labored to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
I like how both of them are so different, and yet they both look up to the parts that they both like the part of the other that they don't have. They complement each other well, because she's more the action and stubbornness, and he's more of the politics and like more mind stuff. Well, if it's any consolation, she's in awe of your work. And don't tell me, tell her. Either one's gonna embarrass him.
She told you of my graduation thesis. How very embarrassing. Nonetheless, it is comforting and not a little surprising to hear that I'm still capable of impressing my sister. On the rare occasions I'm not annoying her, that is.
That's very rare. Oh, she looks like she's done.
Alize, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Wait, it like just 100% worked? Expected a little bit different outcome. But okay.
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always. So I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Did they ever have his voice in the Heavensward? I don't remember.
Your hopes reached Gaboo. They helped him to hold on.
I'm so proud of you, Gaboo.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Can take a lot of ether. I mean, she was like stumbling after helping one person.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use. As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether.
Yeah.
And while Alize was able to heal Gaboo alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced.
That's true. He was supposed to be a mild case.
Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence.
Yeah, if they've started
All
to
of which is
transform. We can't
say
do much.
that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gabu, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then, the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Oh, let's go talk to Becca Lug. I mean, we can go back.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying.
Don't talk to yourself about
and
talk
her
about
name
yourself
is
like that.
Master Matoya, the real one.
I just try. Some people would say the same thing about you.
I have to go now, Gabu. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
That was good. Let's see. The next one is actually gonna be a dungeon. I'm wondering if we should start this now or not, because I am a little bit tired, but I wanted to go till 2 hours. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll just end it here a bit early. I wanted to go a little bit longer, but we'll start off. We'll go ahead and start off with visiting Master Matoya next time, and continuing on with figuring out more on tempering. I mean, we cured Gabu, so that's some pretty darn good progress. Hopefully we can make even more progress next time. Let's see. Tomorrow I'm going to do the normal Golden Saucer stuff, and then we'll continue with 5.4 MSQ. And we'll see if we can get through the rest of it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know yet. I don't know how long I'll be streaming today. I'm just, like, a bit tired. But we did make good progress. Tomorrow we'll do this will be the normal stream at 3 p.m. And until then, goodbye.